The broad goal of ALMA is to study basically the origins of the universe, and so that is involving trying to understand the formation of the first galaxies, to understanding how stars and planets form. The main distinction of ALMA is there's never been a telescope of this size and such at a high altitude. So we have 66 telescopes operating at 5,000 meters. There's never been a telescope of this size that's been constructed, and it's just more sensitive and provides higher resolution than any other telescope of its kind that's been built. They don't see an image as you see with your eye when you're looking at the night sky, but they do detect wavelengths at sub-millimeter wavelengths, and we can actually use computers to create an image from the signal that ALMA detects, and so astronomers can look at it later, but we don't see an image as you would an eye. ALMA is, since it's so much more sensitive than any other telescope that's been built, we're able to detect galaxies that are much further away. We're able to detect more details of how stars and planets form. And so we can actually see details of how the galaxies and stars form that we're unable to see previously. One of the more exciting discoveries for me personally, but also for many people, was the image of HL Tau, where you actually see gaps within a disk that's rotating around a young star, and we think these gaps are related to the formation of planets. And so it's the first time we're able to see these type of gaps within a protoplanetary disk. But there's been many other things as well. Of course, there's the exciting discovery of the event horizon around the M87 and the center of our own Milky Way, seeing the event horizon around the black holes. And we're also seeing galaxies, soon after, 500 million years after the Big Bang, we're actually starting to detect galaxies. And so, and that's just the tip of the iceberg of what ALMA has been able to discover. And I think you see this, everywhere in the newspapers where astronomical discoveries are, they're on the newspapers, and people are just very excited to understand better of our place in the universe. ALMA works together scientifically with many other observatories, because especially with like the James Webb Telescope, the Vera Rubin Telescope, and many others, we all share the same scientific goals, trying to understand the evolution and our place in the universe. But no one telescope can do this on their own, and so you need to observe the same object with different telescopes to have a complete understanding. Well, working at ALMA, myself and many others here at ALMA, there's just a tremendous amount of pride, because we're operating the best telescope in the world of its type. And I think there's just a lot of personal satisfaction of making the telescope operate efficiently as possible, and to enable astronomers throughout the world to do their science and make the discoveries in the best way possible. And so there's just a lot of personal satisfaction of enabling that type of science.